Hello, and welcome to Replay Value. Before we start this video, I have two suggestions to you, the viewer. Firstly, if you haven't seen Hyouka's first episode, I would strongly recommend that you do so, because the second half is way more fun experienced naturally, and I'm spoiling it here. And secondly, if you haven't seen my previous Hyouka video, you should check that one out first, because I'll be referencing motifs and conclusions I made in that video here, and I'm not going to retread the same stuff. So pause this video, and come back after you've done those things. It will take you at most 35 minutes. Everyone else, let's jump right back into it. Already laid out that I think the first half of Hyouka's first episode is phenomenal for a bunch of directorial reasons, but I think the second half is just as impressive from a thematic standpoint. If the first mystery was setting up the starting point for Hotaro and the eventual destination of a rose-colored life, the second mystery is about focusing on how much of a journey it's going to be, and getting a better sense of Hotaro's own confusion about what he truly desires. Because while we know his motto, and we know he's going to attempt to hold on to his energy conservation ways, you don't really get a sense of how much he's going to fight it and how quickly the change is going to happen. There's a great dichotomy between the first mystery and Chitanda pulling Hotaro into the rose-colored life, and this second mystery where Hotaro partially avoids this in an attempt to keep his currently gray life. And Hyouka highlights this dichotomy during the telling of the Ghost of the Music Room story, where we go from Satoshi dramatizing the story with a beautiful sunset-stained watercolor look, up until Hotaro brings up that it was raining yesterday, which transitions us to this dark color. When we return to the real world, gone is the dusk and golden hour backgrounds from the first episode and that first story, now replaced with a raining and cloudy day. So the coming tone shift is highlighted by this visual shift. And my favorite bit of this episode is that this decision establishes rain and neutral tones as the counterbalance to the petals and bright colors. After Satoshi informs Hotaro that Chitanda will almost certainly come around asking for his opinion on this mystery, we get a shot of the clock ticking, which helps create a sense of urgency, doubled with Hotaro's furious writing and the bead of sweat on his cheek. So when Chitanda's feet and shadow come to the door, you actually feel a little bit nervous. And this bit is great. If your eye is focused on the card as she pulls it out, which is the logical place to go because of its motion, you'll look at Satoshi, who gives you a view line to Chitanda. So as your eyes move over, they'll see the piece of paper hanging improperly. And even if you don't look to Satoshi, Chitanda's walking path is the natural thing to follow anyway because of its motion. So you'll still see the piece of paper hanging improperly. This helps to foreshadow Hotaro's devious plot, especially since prior to the dissolve, we saw the papers hanging properly. Again, the mystery itself isn't really that spectacular or engaging. Neither of them are. Hotaro just tricks Chitanda into wanting to solve a mystery that he can design as to best fit his desired outcome, as opposed to the other mystery, which he still solves in this episode. But there's an air of guilt as Hotaro goes about this, looking away, hiding his eyes, so on and so forth. And there's a real sense of dread we get in this shot of him drowning in the word rose-colored. For me, the interesting element of this segment is the walk back with Satoshi, and Hotaro attempting to figure out for himself why he didn't just deny Chitanda. He clearly feels guilty about his trick, like he took advantage of Chitanda's good nature to achieve an end, something that will further be explored in the movie arc later. This internal conflict comes out most clearly when Hotaro says his motto half-heartedly, and Satoshi calls him out on it. Why didn't you just say you didn't care? Isn't that what you've done up till now? Satoshi says, prodding him. And Hotaro is unable to properly answer. But Hotaro is able to say, in response to Satoshi claiming that he was refusing Chitanda's request, that he didn't want to refuse it. And that's where his internal conflict lies. He wants to live his energy conservationist life, but he has a nagging desire to see that rose-colored life. Or maybe a forced one, by his sister initially and now Chitanda. But ultimately, he doesn't want anything to change. He doesn't want to give up what he considers the core of his character or the motto he lives by. Satoshi, to his credit, gives Hotaro a way out to no longer feel guilty. He claims that Hotaro is simply putting it off, referring to both the music mystery and the decision about what direction to go in the future. Hotaro accepts this immediately, and his face brightens up for the rest of the walk, and they return to the rain with their umbrellas. The fact that this whole conversation takes place in this area where it's raining but not really raining is really interesting, because it's in this neutral zone, which matches Hotaro's conflicted mindset. And so when they return to the rain, it's more or less a visual notifier that we've shifted gears again. As Hotaro solves the music room mystery, Satoshi states that going to the music room would have conserved more energy in the long run, both a literal You went from solving one mystery to two, and also in a you deciding to put this off is going to expend more energy thinking about it than may be necessary way. Satoshi then leaves Hotaro to think about what he's just put off as he solitarily walks away in the rain. A notable change from the ending image of the first mystery and highlighting that dichotomy between rain and petals. This walk home moment is really important in the context of the larger show, especially a later episode close to the finale. But seeing as I'm going about these analyses chronologically, I don't want to jump all the way there just yet. Just note that we'll be coming back to this scene a long way down the road, and that we'll be dealing with this concept of putting something off again before this series has elapsed. And of course, the rain will be back even sooner in one of my absolute favorite scenes in the entire show, but again, we'll get there when we get there. Thank you so much for watching. If you thought this was interesting, or if you think we missed something, leave us a comment down below, subscribe for more, and there are options on screen if you want to watch something we've already put out. We'll be back with an analysis of Hyouka's second episode sometime in the near future.